Good morning and welcome, staff and volunteers at the best corporate fitness centre in the whole wide world. What we're going to do today is the first in a series of little videos we're going to send you, which recap and review some of the concepts we talk about in our ACE continuing education series. The first one we're going to talk about is the recent one on heart rate training zones, and more specifically the calculation of your maximum heart rate using the Karvonen formula and the finding out of the designation of your training zones. Let's go right from the beginning, guys. Your age predicted maximal heart rate is 220 minus your age. The example I used in the presentation was myself, George and Arby, three fine looking gentlemen who exercise regularly. Just for ease of calculation, we'll use my age, 54, I know it's hard to believe. 54 years. Now, 220 minus 54 years will give me a figure of 166 beats per minute. Using that standard formula, that assumes that working at a maximal 100% of my capacity, my heart rate will only go to 166. Now, I know for a fact, having recorded it over many years, that it's way higher than that. Average sometimes between 184 to 190, with 184 being the one I've seen most regularly. So consequently, that is a very low prediction of my maximal heart rate. Now, if I wanted to err on the safe side, that's fine, but hey, we want to push ourselves to our capacity, get the most out of exercise. So using that formula, which is the age predicted formula, 220 minus 54, 166, your aerobic zone, which is 70 to 80% of your maximum, which is 166 beats, times 70 to 80% equals, my range would be, that 70 to 80%, 166, would be 116 to 133. Excuse me for my bad handwriting, but you'll get the general idea. That 116 to 133 is supposed to be my training range. If you're exercising regularly, that would probably be too low for me. The same would apply to nearly all of you as well, because you all have greater capacity, I think you would find, than the age predicted equations. So what we do, we refer, rather than the age predicted equation, we use what's known as the Karvonen formula, which follows the following guidelines. Your age predicted maximum heart rate minus your resting heart rate times 70 to 80% of your maximal heart rate plus your resting heart rate back. Now, resting heart rate, average resting heart rate for a human being is 60 to 72 beats. Again, you'll find nearly all of you are lower than that. My resting heart rate is about 46 beats, as we saw during that presentation. Arbin's and George's are also very low, 48, 50 if I recall. Using mine, just to get the formula through, 166 is my age predicted maximal heart rate. Subtract my actual resting heart rate of 46 times 70 to 80% plus the resting back. Let's do that equation. That will be 120 times 166 minus 46 is 120 times 70 to 80. Then you're going to add that resting heart rate back in, 70 to 80%. So we've got 166 minus 46, 120 times that 70 to 80% is going to give me a range of 84 to 96. Obviously that's going to be too low. But when we add back in my resting heart rate as per the formula, that's going to give me a range of 130 beats per minute to 142. That's a much more realistic range. That's called my target heart rate range, something that I can stay in for extended periods of time, but I'm feeling it, I'm getting the benefits of exercise. You can stay in that depending on your fitness levels, 30, 40 minutes up to an hour. Okay, Okay, you're staying within your training heart rate zone. Now, looking at your ranges, finally, to sum up, your zone 1, taking those as your maximum, taking the maximum heart rate via the Karvonen formula. My zone 1 is 50 to 60% of my maximum, which using the formula would work out at 90 to 108 beats. 90 to 108, obviously, that's very minimal exercise. You're not even feeling that. That's what's called our healthy heart. Okay? We're getting the minimal effects of exercise. Zone 2, you're known as your temperate zone, 60 to 70%, would be 108 to about 126 beats per minute. Now, I'm starting to feel the exercise, but it's still well within my capacity. I could probably do that for 1-2 hours. You would all be the same. That's exercising, but it's not that difficult. Now, zone 3, our training zone, again as I mentioned, is 127 to 144. I'm starting to feel that. That's my aerobic zone. If we're pushing past that zone, what's known as the threshold zone, when you really start to feel it, you're starting to feel tired, going above that zone, 80 to 90%, will give me a figure of 144 to 162 beats. Now your threshold zone is where you're starting to really feel it. You can't do that for extended periods of time, but you can, well, depending on your fitness level, you can do it 20, 30 minutes perhaps, but you will eventually tire out. That's your threshold zone, above your aerobic zone. If you were training for a sport, you would probably spend a significant amount in your threshold zone. Is that going to hurt us when we do our actual exercise program? No, we get it under control. But we need that aerobic base working within that training heart rate zone. So, zone 4 is 144 to 162, your threshold zone. Zone 5, that's your anaerobic zone. Okay? That's something you could probably do for 10, 15 seconds at the most. That's going 100% flat out. That would be roughly about 162 and above, right up to my maximum, which is about 184 beats. Okay, that's pushing at your maximum. So we go to zone 1, the healthy heart rate zone, 50 to 60%. Zone 2, your temperate zone. Zone 3, when you're really starting to feel it, your aerobic zone. Zone 4, your threshold, when you're starting now to move into that grey area. Zone 5, your red zone, 5-10 seconds. You cannot last that. That's true anaerobic. Anyone who tells you that they're working anaerobically for 20 minutes at a time has got their terms mixed up. So to take that into an aerobic class, into a traditional group exercise class, using that as your heart rate response, that is your duration. You should start with a 5 to 10 minute warm-up, get within your zones, then cool down, bringing down your zones, and you could even actually work across the zones. That basically sums it up, folks. There's your Karvonen formula. That's how it works on a practical, everyday basis. Welcome any questions or feedback. Thank you.